Welcome on into Garage Takes. Do us a huge favor. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hop in the comment section down below. Let us know, Michigan fans, how are you feeling after this big win against Nebraska on the road? Let us know your thoughts. Michigan heads into a bye week, so no game to talk about this week, but a ton to talk about overall on this football team. Look, before we get into this episode, I got to give a quick shout out to the Grosse Pointe Red Barons, RB3. You know who you are, young man. I know you guys lost to the Rochester Raiders, but I was talking with your dad, and I heard about those 2 touchdowns you ran and the one that you passed right at the big house. So and had some tackles too. So shout out to you, young man. I know that that was an experience of a lifetime at the big house as Michigan went on the road at Nebraska. They got it done. Now the score looked a lot closer than the game actually was. I think it finished up 30-27. Brant, your thoughts on this football team, the game, offense, defense, wherever you want to take this one. I'll follow your lead.
Dave, I'm just going to start right with the offensive line. I mean, just how good was Greg Crippen? That was like a Big Ten, all Big Ten worthy performance.
And Jake Guinera. Yep.
You beat me to it. I mean, he was my next one. And if he hasn't just won the right guard position, I don't know what we're doing. So I think he's probably locked that baby in. Eventually we'll get El Hadi back, and he will insert himself back into as a starter. Still need a little more from Evan Link. I think both of us know that, but
he's good enough.
He's hanging in there. He's hanging tough. But yeah, what this offensive line did to Nebraska was what I would call little brotherdom. That was an absolute dominating performance from that offensive line. You and I can sit here and talk about Justice Haynes all day and just how impressive and explosive and game-breaking he is, but he's not doing that without this offensive line. So let's give kudos where kudos are due. And then secondly, Dave, let's get to the bad real quick. The wide receiver room is gross. It is. It needs to be better. I don't know where they go. We have Sherrone Moore on Monday. The first thing he needs to get back to and talk about is catching a football. Like,
do your true freshman quarterback some favors, you guys. We got bricks for hands out here. What is going on? Channing Goodwin, Samaj Morgan, I swear to God, dude, if he did not redeem himself on that third down play, I am just done with him. Like, give me Andrew Marsh. Give me Jamar Browder. Show me some true freshmen at this point. These guys can't catch the football. Outside of Donovan McCulley and our tight ends, Marlon Klein and Hogan Hansen, who do we have? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, Dave, and I hate to go to the bad after such a good football game, but that game didn't need to be that close, And Biff Poggi, let's give him some credit. He stuck it out. He made a boneheaded decision before the Hail Mary. You call a timeout with 20 seconds to go in the half. They don't get the Hail Mary off. There were a couple things, but Biff did his job. He took over for Sherrone. He gave all the credit to the kids. He was shouting out Sherrone Moore after the big win. He's just a one-of-a-kind type of guy and a great culture guy for Michigan. So just an overall great team win. You don't walk away with 7 sacks without dominating the defensive line too. The move with Barham from linebacker to defensive end, Dave, I've been talking about it all summer, pretty much at the beginning of the fall, is I like Barham at linebacker, but, I would talk about him being out of place and sometimes overrunning plays and running past the quarterback as he's coming down the gut and just him on the edge. He can play the run beautifully, and the dude can absolutely sack the quarterback. So just a great move by this Michigan coaching staff and a feather in the cap.
Yeah, just to go back to the offensive side of the ball for just a second. I mean, we might have the best running back in the country in Justice Haynes because now he's doing it. I mean, first of all, the guy has had over 100 yards in his first 4 games as a starting running back at Michigan. That is, I don't care who you're playing. It's a great stat to have. And it's every week. He has busted I don't know if it's 40 or 50 yards or 75 yards. Every week he has had a huge run. And for a little while, it was like, okay, but what about those 5-yard runs, the 6-yard runs, the 10-yard runs? He's getting those now. And that's because the offensive line, like you mentioned to open this thing up, is starting to click. These things all go together, and they're hitting the home runs. And Jordan Marshall, running back 2, or 1B, however they want to call him, also looked like he broke loose this week. And I'm not even talking about his big touchdown run. Brant, that first down run that he had where he looked like he's about to get tackled a few different times reminded me of the bowl game against Alabama last year. And he just showed you what a bruiser and an all-around running back he is. So, running the football, outstanding. Bryce Underwood did everything they asked him to do. I mean, he was not perfect by any means. There was a couple passes he would like to have back. But these receivers are not doing him any favors, and they've just most definitely have got to get better. And I'm very curious to see how much better they can actually get, because I'll be honest, I'm pretty concerned at this point that this is the product that we have out there in the wide receiver room. On the defensive side of the ball, Brant, look, and I guess the offensive line, yes, we spent enough time on there. Yes, that is getting significantly better. You've heard Sherrone Moore has been working directly with them, obviously when he wasn't suspended. But they're definitely coming on and getting better each week, which is exciting to see. And it's a staple to this team. We've got to win in the trenches. That's Michigan football. Whether you have a guy like Bryce Underwood or not, you got to win in the trenches. And that is what this team is doing. You saw it, and I know it was Central Michigan, but you saw that something changed with this team against CMU. They needed that 60-point win. They absolutely needed it on both sides of the football. On the defensive side, man, I got to give a couple flowers. One is, yes, Jaishawn Barham. The guy is, Sherrone Moore said it this week, and I think I texted you and Curdy during the game the same thing. Jaishawn's going to be a first-round draft pick, and he just has that skill set. And I'm not saying he is Micah Parsons. Please don't. That's not what I'm saying. But that prototype, and similar to when Penn State did this same move to edge and had Micah just basically bull rushing after the quarterback. And that's what Jaishawn Barham is doing. He is faster. He is stronger than the guys he's going up against. And he's a missile coming in at the quarterback. There's a reason why Dylan Raiola was on his back 7 times, and many more times than that. He was under stress basically every single play. And I was hard on Rayshawn Benny about the guys on the inside. Trey Pierce had a great game too. Those guys, seem to be putting it together. And even, our secondary, while they are thin and injuries just keep on piling up, and Jair Hill's had his struggles. We did not have Zeke Berry. Jaden Sanders, true freshman, coming in there. And look, Shamari Earls was the true freshman quarterback wearing the number 2. And I think he's going to be a very good player. But that's the guy they were hyping up as the freshman that was going to really get playing time this year. And look, Jaden Sanders, he looks to be that guy. Like he stepped up, not perfect again. Yep, he just stepped up. And last but not least, in terms of game balls, look, my guy Cole Sullivan, Brant. Does this guy make a play every week? I mean, he is. I would love to bring up his stats. He's got a couple interceptions, a sack, some tackles for loss. I don't know how many tackles. He's got a forced fumble. This kid. And sorry, I know I asked you that question, but I've got to also say this. These are the benefits to putting Jaishawn Barham as an edge rusher and coming in, because you're going to get guys like Cole Sullivan and Jimmy Rolder on the field much more with Ernest Hausman. This is a win-win right now.
Yeah, and I think I know you've been raving about Cole Sullivan for a long time, and I know he is a great player. He had no business catching that football. Like none. Zero. He had no business grabbing that
interception. Athletes make plays, my friend.
And it's just like, wow. When you see something pop like that, when you're like, of course our cornerback couldn't catch the ball. Of course Jair, without gloves, can't catch the football. But Cole Sullivan can come down with it, circus catch, one-handed. It was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. It really was. So look, Michigan gets a bye week. We got plenty of time to talk about them in next week's episode. But Brant, if I've got to not have any Michigan football on one weekend, it would be this weekend. And that is because the college football slate right now is absolutely loaded. And you're going to have football from 12 o'clock all the way through the night games and games that are overlapping. This is a weekend where you need multiple TVs I want to just have you, if you don't mind, just running us
Yeah.
through some of these games, and let's just make some quick picks here in the next few minutes.
Let's just start with the noon window, Dave. Let's go USC traveling to Champaign, take on Illinois. You know, the West Coasters coming East Coast, Illinois coming off the thrashing that Indiana just laid on them, and USC big win at home over Michigan State. Dave, 6.5 points that the Illini are catching at home. Do you like to roll with Illinois here?
I think because of the travel here, right? I think that's a big thing.
And the noon kick.
The noon kick. Those two factors, I will take Illinois. I think USC is better than you do. I know I'm hoping you're right. I that game scares me for Michigan, but what are your thoughts on this one?
You know, I know you're a big Maeva. Like, you know, we talked earlier, Maeva is kind of your guy. You like his skill set, everything about him. I like him too. I just haven't seen enough of him. Illinois in a bounce back spot here, Dave. I'll take 6.5 with you and roll with them. All right, let's hit the 3:30 window. Ohio State finally going to get tested. Texas, you cannot sell me was a test, man. That Arch Manning performance was not. I've seen FCS quarterbacks play better than that this year. So, you know, don't give me that Arch Manning was a serious test. That Texas defense was really good, but, you know, you have to go out to Washington now. You're going to go out to Seattle. They're going to be sailgating. You know, so Demond Williams is their quarterback, an absolute dual threat. You know, Coleman, their running back, an absolute threat. Denzel Boston, an absolute threat. My light went out. I'm going to have to fix that. Dave, why don't
Lights
you take
out,
over?
baby.
Why don't you take over? Washington getting 8 points at home.
So I am going to be all over Washington here. And Brant has been, I'm going to give him his flowers while he steps away for a second, because he told me this summer that Washington was going to be good. And I had told Brant, I don't know. I don't have eyes on Washington like that, but that's what he said. And I will say he's right. Washington has looked really good this year. I like Washington at home. I think Ohio State gets their first true test of the year because and look, I'm not poo-pooing on the Texas win. That was a great win, much better than any team that Michigan has played. Okay, Buckeye fans, from getting that out of the way. But Texas ain't it. And Arch Manning was definitely not it in that game. And so we're going to see. I'm taking Washington, though, and confidently picking them with, what'd you say, 8 points?
Yeah, 8 points. And, Dave, you know what? I'm going
to – whatever, man. Just finish it. Yeah, you're good.
Hey,
we can still see you.
I'm gonna go ahead and just pick Washington outright. I'm just gonna take them outright.
Take the upset.
I'm gonna take the upset plus 245. Let's ride with it. Dave, one more I want your quick thoughts on. Let's do Oregon Penn State. Let's do the whiteout in Happy Valley. Oregon's first taste of like a real hellacious Big Ten environment. Who do you like? Penn State favored by 3.5 at home.
I'm going to take Oregon plus 3.5 here. I'm not going to go out and say that I'm confidently picking Oregon to win this game. But I think Oregon's got a good football team. They do a lot of things well. I think Dante Moore at quarterback, Detroit kid. I think he's built for the moment. We haven't seen it yet though. So we're gonna learn a lot about Oregon this weekend. I'm more so taking them, Brant, because I do not trust or have any faith in you know who. James Franklin in a big game when it really matters on a national stage like this. It just white out all of the excitement. It's like it seems like Penn State and they got Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. They bring back all these guys, and there's still one problem at Penn State. It is that bald little weasel known as James Franklin with the headset on. Give me Oregon.
Give me Oregon as well with the 3.5, Dave, and I might flirt with the money line later. But I don't like Drew Aller. I know that they can run the ball. The one thing I pause on Oregon with is I trusted Dylan Gabriel more than I obviously trust Dante Moore, just because I haven't seen enough from Dante Moore yet. But if he comes out and he's played like he has in these first few games, he is absolutely going to light Penn State up. So we'll see what happens there. And then the last game of the night, Dave, I want your thoughts on Alabama, Georgia. Just give me a quick winner here, man.
Ooh, I've got to take Georgia because they have won something like almost 30 games in Athens, and I just think that I don't see that changing. I don't have any faith in this Alabama team. I think Kalen DeBoer is coaching to save his job already. I don't think they can him after year two unless this thing goes really, really south. But these fans already are done with Kalen DeBoer. They are over this era. They expect to be playing for championships every single year. Coming from Nick Saban to that is a lot of pressure. Look, to play devil's advocate, if you want to regain some confidence from this fan base and build some energy in this program, DeBoer, go out and get this one in Athens. What about
Dave,
you?
I'm telling you right now, I'm calling BS on whatever you just said about them not firing him. I think if Georgia wins this game, and I'm picking Georgia to win this game, Kalen DeBoer, he loses another game this year, I think his time at Alabama has come to an end. And I know that feels hot take-ish, but the NFL has kind of done that thing where like they will fire you after 1 year. Alabama feels like NFL light, like they just have this last 15 years that they don't want to let go of. And if Kalen DeBoer misses the playoffs back to back, he's gone.
Put a nail in it. All right, you heard it here first. Kalen DeBoer out of here if he doesn't win this weekend. You heard it from Brant. On that note, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the Garage Takes channel. Again, shout out RB3, your football team. I see you, man. Keep doing your thing there at the big house. We're cheering your team on from afar. And as always, join us here every week on Garage Takes if you like Michigan football and you love Lions football as well. Go Blue.